When our fellow Americans are disgruntled with the way that things are being ran, when they are upset with policies that the president is trying to push through, they start screaming for an impeachment. Those opposed to his policies want him out of office and feel that the best way to accomplish this is to impeach the president. But what does it really mean to impeach the president? Does the fact that the president is impeached automatically remove him from office? Is impeaching the president going to quickly solve the problems and make the unwanted legislation go away? It is not uncommon to see memes and posters, bumper stickers, and buttons calling for an impeachment of the president. These are most recently seen in regards to our current president, Barack Obama, and his predecessor, George W. Bush. In order to understand these answers to these questions, we must understand what it means to impeach the president. According to the 2010 Almanac and Book of Facts, to impeach means to bring charges against. When we are talking about the president, it is not a matter of accusing him for a crime or a problem that exists. There is much more involved. When a new president is first elected, he takes an oath as he assumes office that lists many responsibilities. The U.S. Constitution provides for impeachment and removal from office of federal officials on grounds of treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. Abuse of this power, or failure to uphold these responsibilities, can be the reason that the president has charges brought up against him. When these charges of misconduct are filed, that is known as an article of impeachment. In order for this impeachment to be achieved, there must be a majority vote from the House of Representatives. If the House of Representatives does vote to impeach the president, then he has officially been impeached. Once the House of Representatives has voted to impeach the president, the Senate then holds a trial that is similar to the court of law. The Senate must vote by a 2/3 majority to find the president guilty of the charges. At that point, the president can then be removed from office and can never again hold a government position in the United States. The impeachment of the president has only happened twice throughout the history of the United States, and almost happened for a third time. In 1848, former President Andrew Johnson was impeached for his decision to remove the Secretary of War without notifying the Senate of that choice. In 1974, former President Richard Nixon resigned the office of president before he was formally impeached for the Watergate scandal. Though impeachment articles were adopted and the House was preparing to vote on the impeachment, he resigned before a decision was able to be reached. In 1998, former President Bill Clinton was impeached by the House of Representatives for covering up a sexual relationship with former White House intern Monica Lewinsky and for lying about his involvement. This brought him charges of perjury and obstruction of justice. Please note that though these two presidents were in fact impeached, they still finished their term as President of the United States. This is because though they were impeached by the House of Representatives, they were not found guilty by the Senate. In the case of Andrew Johnson, the Senate was one vote shy of the required majority needed to find him guilty and remove him from office. In the case of Bill Clinton, the Senate also fell short of the required votes to remove him from office and was acquitted of all charges in 1999. Though both former presidents were impeached, they were not removed from office and were able to finish their terms as President of the United States because the Senate did not find them guilty. So, to answer the questions that we visited at the beginning, does the fact that the president is impeached remove him from office? No, it does not. Is impeaching the president going to quickly solve the problems and make the unwanted legislation go away? No. Likely, since these things are rarely backed by only the president, they would still be an issue. There are issues that are facing our country that we need to work on. There is legislation that is being pushed through that is not popular amongst the American people. However, impeaching the president is not going to solve the problem. He will still be there after he is impeached, and will only be removed from office if both the House of Representatives votes to impeach him, and the Senate then finds him guilty. If the president is found guilty by the Senate, he can be removed from office. He'll never be allowed to hold another government position in the United States. Though Andrew Johnson was impeached, because he was not found guilty by the Senate, he was able to return to Washington in 1875 as a senator from Tennessee, before he died a few months later. Bill Clinton has not re-entered the political arena and taken a government office. However, he does continue to remain active in causes with both presidents who came after him, Barack Obama and George Bush. Though these two presidents were impeached, they were able to still take an active part in our country and finish their terms. I hope that this has given you a new insight into what it actually means to impeach our president and the process behind it. Thank you very much for listening.